As an entrepreneur, your most important job is to ensure that your team works really well with each other. It's very similar to being a gardener. You keep the good plants and you weed out the ones that don't provide value but block resources from getting to the good ones. Engineering teams that don't support each other and don't understand each other's strengths and limitations are especially at a disadvantage. It's really important to build a great culture to create an environment conducive to solving complex problems on a regular basis, which is something that engineering teams at all startups do. I have led multiple engineering teams over the past few years, and it's really difficult to condense down what makes teams great, because there are just so many factors. However, it's much simpler to point out the things that don't lead to the formation of a great team. And that's exactly what I'll attempt to do, so that you know what not to do, and that's much simpler to remember than the hundreds of things that you need to do. I'm Akhil Sharma and I'm the CEO at Dominate.ai, which is just a more effective and efficient sales management tool for B2B sales teams. And I'm going to share with you 5 really bad types of engineering teams that you should try and avoid to turn into. 1. Ones that don't adapt. If your team is comfortable with the technology that they're using and haven't upgraded their tech and tools in a while, you will soon be left behind the market. This does not mean that you start disrupting all of your existing processes and products and change your tech stacks. Instead, what this means is that you need to always be on the lookout for new tech and getting a team to contribute to open source projects and building cutting-edge POCs, etc., to ensure that you're ahead of the curve always. This has direct and proportional effects on your business. The better equipped your team is with new tools and tech, the faster they're able to adapt to market changes and competitors' pressure. 2. Ones that don't find optimum solutions and settle for the easiest ones. If, when your team is faced with complex engineering problems, they usually settle with the first and easiest to implement solutions, there's bad news for you. Instead, the team needs to always look for the most optimal solution. This usually comes with a bit of iteration because the first solution usually has more trade-offs than benefits. You need to build a culture for problem solving in a way that people on your team are motivated to solve the problem for the long term and treat them as learning opportunities that teach them something valuable rather than finding a short-term quick fix and getting ahead with their job. You can ensure this by giving them free time to work on such solutions and easing out the deadlines just a little bit. 3. Prone to groupthink. There are individuals in a team that don't bring anything new to the table, and this leads to groupthink, which is a situation where there are no differences of opinions and there's nobody to think critically of the approach being thought out. This can be quite dangerous for a team. Ideas are not vetted out properly, and great solutions are not devised by teams prone to groupthink. This can be solved by bringing on board people with different aptitudes and personality types. It's really important to create a culture of questioning and analyzing. 4. Not diverse enough. People from different backgrounds, countries, races, and religions make up for great teams, as there can be a lot of learning from different experiences. But team diversity does not just end there. You can create cross-functional teams as well, and that highly accelerates training and learning. A team that works well together and understands each other despite a lot of differences is unbeatable. Teams that aren't great aren't diverse enough and feels like being in an echo chamber. 5. Not open to feedback. Something as simple as code reviews from a different team member can add tremendous value by basically adding another pair of eyes and a different perspective. Teams that work well together are always open to feedback and are comfortable sharing and accepting critical feedback. So today, we have seen 5 types of engineering teams that you should not aspire to be or hire and build in your startup. I hope this video was helpful and informative, and you learned something new today. If you like this content, please subscribe to this channel, and thank you for watching.